Every damn day the South embarrasses itself. And this is believe it or bullshit. Some stories really happen, some are fake as hell. And it's your job to call it out. I bring the chaos. You judge the truth. Let's see how dumb it gets. So get this, while I'm sitting here trying to figure out what to talk about today, scrolling through the usual garbage on my phone, when I come across this story that made me actually laugh out loud in public like some kind of maniac. We're talking about a headline so ridiculous I had to read it 3 times just to make sure I wasn't having a stroke. Chuck E. Cheese employee arrested mid-shift. And I'm thinking, okay, what now? Did someone finally snap from listening to that animatronic band all day? Did they catch someone selling weed out of the ball pit? No. This is so much better. So apparently down in Tallahassee, which, let's be honest, is basically North Florida pretending to be civilized because it's got the state capital, this dude named Jermel Jones is working his regular shift at Chuck E. Cheese. You know, the place where childhood dreams go to die and parents go to question their life choices. He's suited up in the full mouse costume, probably sweating his ass off in that polyester nightmare, entertaining screaming kids who are hopped up on birthday cake and sugar. But here's the thing. Old Jermel's got himself a little side hustle going on. See? While he's out there doing the Chuck E. dance and getting sticky fingerprints all over his costume, he's also allegedly been using stolen credit cards. Like, this man is living a double life. By day, he's everyone's favorite pizza-loving rodent. By night, or maybe during his lunch break, who knows, he's allegedly out here committing credit card fraud. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when I think about career criminals, I don't usually picture someone who voluntarily puts on a giant mouse head for minimum wage. Like, what's the thought process here? You know what would make my criminal enterprise more successful? If I did it while dressed like a cartoon character that peaked in the 80s. So the police get wind of this situation, right? They've been investigating, probably following paper trails and checking surveillance footage, doing all that detective work, and they finally trace it back to our boy, Chuck E. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. They don't wait for him to clock out. They don't call him into the manager's office. No, these cops roll up to the Chuck E. Cheese during business hours, walk right past the arcade games and the screaming children. And they're like, "We're here for the mouse." Can you even imagine being a parent at this moment? You're sitting there, probably already questioning why you agreed to host your kid's birthday party at what is essentially a casino for children, when suddenly it turns into an episode of Cops. Your 7-year-old is over by the skee-ball machines when, boom, real police officers start moving through the restaurant like they're conducting a raid. And get this, they got body camera footage. Because of course they do. Everything's recorded these days. So there's actual video of this going down, and apparently you can hear kids in the background going, "Oh no," when they see Chuck E. getting handcuffed. Like, these poor babies are watching their childhood hero get arrested in real time. That's gonna require some therapy later in life. I keep trying to picture this scene, and it gets funnier every time. There's Chuck E., probably in the middle of leading some birthday song when the cops walk up. And you know that costume head makes it hard to see, so maybe he doesn't even notice them at first. He's just doing his thing, waving his big foam hands around, when suddenly there's a firm tap on his shoulder and someone saying, "Jermel Jones, you're under arrest." The police spokesman said they checked to make sure he was actually working at the Chuck E. Cheese before they came back to arrest him, which means they probably did surveillance first. Can you imagine being the detective who had to sit in a car outside Chuck E. Cheese watching through binoculars to confirm that yes, the credit card fraud suspect is indeed the person inside the mouse costume? That's not exactly the glamorous police work they show you on TV. And apparently when they searched him, police say they found the victim's credit card right there in his pocket. His pocket. This man was walking around entertaining children while allegedly carrying stolen credit cards on his person. The audacity is just, it's something else. But here's what really gets me. One of the officers, and this is recorded on the body camera, tells another cop, "The parents had beef with me for detaining Chuck E. Cheese. The parents were mad at the police for arresting Chuck E." Like, I get it. Nobody wants their kid's party ruined, but police say this dude was allegedly committing crimes. What were they supposed to do? Wait until after the birthday song? I'm trying to imagine the conversation between the parents and the cops. "Excuse me, officer, could you maybe arrest him after we cut the cake? Little Timmy's only turning 6 once." Meanwhile, Chuck E's standing there in handcuffs, probably still wearing that giant mouse head because they haven't figured out how to get it off yet. And you know what's even better? The way this whole thing went down makes it seem like being Chuck E. Cheese was his real job, and credit card fraud was just something he allegedly did on the side. Like, most criminals try to keep a low profile, blend into the background, stay under the radar, but not Jermel. This man chose the most conspicuous job possible. He's literally a walking, talking, dancing advertisement for pizza and arcade games, and somehow he thought nobody would notice him. The mental image of the arrest itself is just incredible. You got Chuck E. Cheese, hands behind his back, probably can't see shit through that costume head, getting read his Miranda rights while Happy Birthday plays in the background and some kids crying because their pizza got cold. It's like a scene from a comedy movie, except it's real life in Florida. And let's talk about the logistics here for a second. How do you even put handcuffs on someone wearing a Chuck E. Cheese costume? Those things are bulky as hell. Do the cuffs go over the costume sleeves? Do they have to partially undress him first? These are the questions that keep me up at night. I'm also wondering about the other employees. Like, imagine being the teenager working the prize counter when the police walk in to arrest your coworker. That's gotta be awkward as hell. Hey, Sarah, could you cover Chuck E.'s meet and greet? He's got a legal situation to handle. The whole thing is just so perfectly Florida, you know? Like, of course this happened in Tallahassee. Of course it was at a Chuck E. Cheese. Of course they arrested him mid-shift in front of a bunch of kids. It's like someone took all the most ridiculous elements possible and threw them into a blender. And now this poor bastard's probably gonna be known as the Chuck E. Cheese criminal forever. Like, good luck getting another mascot job after this. Sorry, we can't hire you to be our restaurant's friendly bear mascot. Aren't you the guy who got arrested while dressed as a mouse? His LinkedIn profile's gonna be interesting. But seriously, what kind of background check does Chuck E. Cheese do? Because apparently, not currently committing credit card fraud wasn't on their list of requirements. Although, to be fair, maybe it should be now. The more I think about this story, the more questions I have. Like, was he a good Chuck E. Cheese? Did the kids like him? Was he one of those mascots who really gets into character? Or was he just phoning it in while planning his next credit card scam? These are the details I need to know. So what do y'all think? I mean, the body camera footage and police reports are all real, but this whole thing sounds like something out of a rejected Saturday Night Live sketch. Believe it or bullshit? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I'm still trying to wrap my head around the sheer absurdity of it all. Hit that subscribe button because God knows what other insane Southern news I'm gonna dig up next time.